Hi there, I just thought I'd do a video on how I mix my pillow paint up here in the UK. I use two, so I use Homebase and Valspar. So we've got this Homebase white, and then the Valspar white. And so I get two 10-litre tubs, and so I mix them 50-50 to pour 5 litres into another container and top it up and give them a good mix. Which I've just done, and to be fair, this one's not quite as thick as it usually is, but to thin it out, so I put it into these tubs which hold about 1 litre, so I've probably got about 800 mils in there, and to that I add some Otrol. This is a paint conditioner, so that helps the paint move. I find it helps get the air out as well. Probably, I don't measure any of this, so probably, I don't know, 30 mil or so ish, and mix that in. And like I said, this is not the Homebase this time wasn't quite as thick as it usually is, so this is not as far off as it can be. But you can do this with your colours as well. So, and if I've got a Valspar and I feel that's a bit thin, I just get a similar colour in the Homebase Silk, which is quite inexpensive, and then mix them together. So that saves adding too much water to it. And like I said, the Otrol helps the gas come out. I normally have about 4 of these tubs mixed up, so they can just sit around, and then it has time for the air, any air bubbles to come out of it, so you don't end up with lots of bubbles in your paint. And this is pretty good actually. Doesn't too much. I'm going to add a tiny bit of water to that, but it doesn't really need too much. It's usually a little thicker than that. So I kind of work around about this consistency, but I have a couple of tubs that are slightly thinner and a couple of tubs that are slightly thicker, depending on what I'm doing. But don't add any more than 10% water to volume of paint. But I mean, you shouldn't need that. Make sure you mix the water in well. So we've got kind of there, just sits on the top and disappears a little. So work round about that consistency. That's either a little thinner than that, but probably no thicker than that, depending on what I'm doing. But you just have to play around with it a little and find what suits you best. Because some people prefer it thicker, some prefer it slightly thinner. So that's about, I don't know how well you can see that. Let me lift it up a bit. So that's kind of consistency. Anyway, that was very short and sweet, but I hope that helps, because I've seen a lot of you guys struggling with your pillow.